Welcome back, friends. We are doing 5 ground beef recipes on the griddle. These are gonna be delicious. First one, egg roll in a bowl. Boom. It's that simple. Got an egg roll in a bowl. All right, seriously though, we're gonna put down some ground beef onto the 22-inch Adventure Ready Blackstone. This was made for the keto people. Made this for the keto diet. So normally I don't support any diets at all whatsoever. I'm working on starting one next week, but this is a good recipe. It's my first time doing it. It's good. So you put your ground beef down. That was like 1.5 pounds, however much you want to use. And then I did some green onions, and I've been doing this with my fried rice too. I put down the white end of the green onion first and kind of just do that with the ground beef, kind of like you would with a normal white onion, you know. And then I save the green part as more of a garnish or an on top sort of thing. So once your ground beef is all cooked up and your onions have sauteed a little bit, and you could use regular white onions for this too. This is totally customizable. You can do a lot of stuff with this egg roll in a bowl. So you mix it all together. I want to go over, I showed you this here. You're going to get a lot of grease. I mean, I had a 80-20, so you know, ground beef has a lot of grease. Make sure you scrape all this into your trough before you go to the next step. See, I scraped it all away. It's gone. You can see the griddle looks cleaner. Just make sure it's all away because it's going to all absorb in the cabbage. Here comes our garlic next that we're putting down. And then, speak of the devil, it's just a bag of coleslaw blend. It couldn't get any easier. You're getting like a pound of beef and a bag of coleslaw blend. But if you still had all that burger grease on the griddle, it's gonna, I mean, it's just gonna be greasy and nasty. So there's some soy sauce. Your coleslaw blend has those carrots in it too, so that looks good. I'll put a full recipe in the description for this, but I did probably about a tablespoon or 2 of soy sauce. I just like to eyeball it on this, and you can see it already looks great. And then here comes some teriyaki sauce. That's like a sesame teriyaki. You can just use regular teriyaki or whatever you want. Honestly, I think it was just on sale at Aldi, so I bought it, but it was good. So then I hit it with the teriyaki sauce. Then you give it another little mix in here. Make sure you get all that stuff combined together. And then the sesame oil. Now, if you see my videos, I use this on fried rice. This is a must. I love the sesame oil. Get you some for fried rice and for this recipe. It really gives it that takeout flavor. If you want to add more vegetables, knock yourself out. A little bit of yum yum on top because that's my wife's favorite. And then, like I said, with those other green onions, those are going on at the end too. It's pretty simple. You could really add as much as you want. Get a bag of frozen vegetables too. Very good. Highly recommend this recipe. Highly recommend it. Next, we're doing like a little enchilada chimichanga type thing. Down goes our taco seasoning, and then you just do a little water, mix it all together. Straightforward, just like you would do in a skillet here. So I didn't show you cooking the ground beef. I think we all know at this point how to cook ground beef. Here is our refried beans. So we're doing refried beans inside, then with the ground beef, and then to the left is a little foil pan with a shallow fry. So I just got like maybe a 1/2 or 1/4 inch high of some peanut oil. I mean, really not much here. See me folding that up. Make sure you do both sides. If you've never done like a little, it's like a burrito but smaller. Both sides, then roll it up and over, and that's how you get the burrito-esque roll there. So anyways, foil pan, we're doing a shallow deep fry. That was on there from the beginning so the oil could get hot. Put it right down in that oil. So it's not completely submerged, but it's in the oil. That's just like a quesadilla. This is my taco cook. I'll link it in the cards if you want to watch it. And when I flip this guy over, you can see, yeah, that's what we're talking about. That's that deep fried goodness. So all of these tacos are obviously ground beef, but I thought this was the best one and the most interesting one. Started coming apart, so I used a little more refried beans as the glue, kind of just to keep it together, and then I let it keep frying up there. Let it sit in the oil, and they were all really good, but this one really like took it over the top. Little sneak peek, I just like the way this looked at the little quesadilla. Look at that cheese and beans in there. So just something makes me feel good, so I added it. So then you can see all of them, but the enchiladas on the top left, or chimichanga, sorry, and it's deep fried. It's so good. You can top it with more cheese, beans, whatever you want. Chili is next. We're going to do a classic chili on the griddle. There's all of our ingredients. We'll go over them as they go in. There's quite a bit of ground beef. First start off with some oil, and this is different. I'm not doing ground beef like chopping up. I did them like smash burgers. So you can see me just smashing them all down. This is really a copycat Wendy's chili is what it is. And it started raining on me, but that's why there's so much steam. But I really wanted to get a crust, as you can see on these burgers, like a nice sear. That's why I smashed them like a smash burger. And this is how they supposedly do their chili, is they put it on the flat top, and any leftover burgers or burgers that fall apart, they throw in their chili. Here goes our ingredients: 2 cans of stewed tomatoes, 1 can of tomato sauce. Then we also have 2 cans of these beans. They're chili beans, that Bush's chili beans, ready for chili. It's like kidney beans and something else. Then we have also 1 can of the diced tomatoes are going to go in there with some green chilies in there. Then also 2 packets of McCormick chili seasoning. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and chop up the burgers. So you can see they got the sear. Want to make sure instead of just being little chunks of ground beef, it's almost like little chunks of hamburger, which, you know, that's supposedly what Wendy's does, and that's why I love them. Onions, celery, and the green peppers go onto the griddle. I put them on there towards the end. You could put them on earlier if you want, when the burgers were on. I just wanted to sweat them down a little bit. I wasn't like fully cooking them. They're going to cook in the chili. And now look, I didn't cook this chili on the griddle for 5 hours, you know, after I put it all in the pot. I took it inside and just let it simmer. So, I mean, you could do this on the griddle all day. Maybe if you're cooking all day, or maybe if you're camping, you could do this on your camping griddle, put it in a Dutch oven, put it next to the fire, and then just let it sit all day and then have a chili. But oh, also the vinegar, don't forget I put a little bit of vinegar in there. Mix it with a spatula, just because I'm lazy and I didn't want to make any more dishes. But I'd highly recommend trying this chili. It was very, very good. I served it with a grilled cheese I did with mayonnaise. I'll link that video in the cards. I did a test of butter and mayonnaise on grilled cheese. Here's some more ground beef. We're doing next a chopped cheese or a cheat steak. I don't know if it's an official chopped cheese. There's some cheese whiz going into the pot. So this is just super easy. I mean, it's just ground beef on a hoagie bun basically, but cheat steak is another name for it. Here goes the McCormick Montreal Canadian steak seasoning. This is great on ground beef or burgers, obviously for steaks. Onions, mushrooms, lots of mushrooms. My wife really likes mushrooms. So as the beef is cooking, we're going to saute down the white onion. It's like a whole white onion in one of those whole little containers of mushrooms that I sliced up. So we're going to saute this down next to the beef. Then we're going to mix it all together after I tried to get rid of as much grease as I could. Really get the onions, the mushrooms, the ground beef together. I mean, if you want to add peppers to this, go ahead. If you wanted to add, you could do like zucchini or something too. I know it sounds a little weird, but I bet you it would be good. You can add whatever vegetables you want to this to really kind of kick it up. Peppers, more onions, maybe banana peppers. Here comes down our buns. But this one's just a basic like cheat steak chopped cheese recipe. Got both of these long hoagie buns, and then after they toast up and everything's been cooked, the ground beef is cooked all the way through, then we'll go ahead and just load up the bun with our meat and veggie mixture. Here comes the liquid gold, the cheese whiz that I put on the griddle, and oh man, that's just, these are delicious. You could use a different cheese, modify them however you want. All right, Mexican pizza with La Perfita, refried beans and stuff I got from my buddy Todd. Thank you so much, Todd. He watches the videos. So we're putting the refried beans back in the same pot on the griddle with some cheese. Don't be scared to use a pot on the griddle if you've never done it before. I'd highly recommend it. Did about 2 handfuls of cheese. Just let it melt down in those beans, and I moved them to the side to my warming zone. Here's the ground beef again. Cut it up. It's in onions. Yada, yada, yada. We all know how to cook ground beef now, or you already knew how to cook ground beef. You don't want to see me do it all day long here. Down goes the tortillas. Lots of oil. Don't be scared to use the oil with these tortillas for this Mexican pizza. You want them to get nice and toasty. Look at that. I apologize for the glare. It'll get better here in a second once I zoom in. Look how toasted those are. You really want them to get crispy, but you also want to be at 375. Don't crank your griddle up. You'll burn these in a heartbeat. So lots of oil, around 375, not over 400. Taco seasoning again. We've done this already before. Same thing. I just do it on the griddle. Add water, add the taco seasoning, mix it together, get you a little slurry, bing, bang, boom, then you're good to go. So then I apologize. I did not turn the camera on. I added 1 tortilla. Then I put the refried beans, then the beef. Rookie mistake. I thought the camera was on. It wasn't. There are beans under that beef. So it goes tortilla, beans, beef, another tortilla. That's how we're like stacking them to make the pizza. There goes the taco sauce that I got from Todd. Go ahead and put that on top. This is just like Taco Bell's like hot or mild sauce, but in a whole jar of it, it's delicious. I'd highly recommend trying it. So then I put some cheese on top. Now we're looking more like a pizza. Put it on my little wire rack. Did some water in the dome to melt the cheese. And then I pulled it off and oh man, this looked good. Go ahead and add some diced tomatoes on top of there. And then we'll also add some onions that we chopped up raw. Some sour cream. Can't forget the sour cream. Oh, this was good. If you want to see more recipes like this, I got an ebook in the description you can pick up, or you can click the video on your screen. Thank you so much for watching. I think I'll start my diet next week. Have a good one and keep on griddling.